Taino Sagrado, aka human being. Just over here, just chilling, see if I get some more people online. Of course, this show will be archived. Future shows that you could download. Just waiting for a couple of more people. You know what? Let's start. Let's start. And I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, and also for downloading this show in the future, all you future people out there. Um, Before we really get into the hardcore topic, which is indigenous ceremonies, it's not about the money. So I want to introduce a what do they call it? Co co DJ. He's gonna be on future videos with me. Um, he's completed his training as a DJ here in the Taino Funhouse, and also at Taino Radio on Spotify and future um, Beanpod. So look out for that. Look out for those shows. And my DJ, my new DJ for Taino Funhouse. Um, I had many human beings join me on Taino Radio, um, also on Taino Funhouse here on YouTube. I love human beings, but we have to shake it up a little bit. I had my daughter here last time, but I had to research some other DJs that weren't human beings. So he just finished his training, and he's right here. He's a Taino Funhouse, the Slug Master, right here, the Slug Master. Now, this Slug guy, he doesn't have any name, so maybe if you guys have any suggestions, what kind of name um, I should name it, but he's gonna be on my future videos. He's very shy. He said he's not gonna say anything. Come on, man, just say something. Yeah, hey, I'll be proud. You know what? He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to talk much today. He's very shy. Hey, look in the camera. Yeah, there you go. He's the funhouse snail. I mean, not the snail, the slug. Let me ask you a question. If anyone has a suggestion of a name for, he's actually non-binary. I want to mention that. Uh, awesome, awesome slug. But please, if you have any names or whatever combination of names, you please write in the comments. He's just gonna watch me now as I talk today. Pay attention now. All right, check this out. So, indigenous ceremonies. Hmm. It's not about the money. Let me backtrack a little bit. Um, Hold on a second. Oh no. Okay. Give me 30 seconds. Hey, everybody, sorry about that. Sorry about. I hope no one left. I had to find something, and I really am gonna try my best to not ramble. I'm gonna keep it really short. Since I am an indigenous Caribbean gentleman, born in, well, I was conceived in Guanica. Hey, what's up? How you doing, Riley? I was born in Guanica. I mean, I was conceived in Guanica, as my mother said, and I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. But I consider myself to be Boricua Taino, who has an American passport. So, as an indigenous Bejique Taino Caribbean gentleman Taino, I can actually say that I can't really talk about the Navajo, the Hopi, the Micmacs, how they do ceremonies and how they conduct their protocols. But I want to speak as a Taino, okay? So I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to offend. I'm not attacking the African tradition, the Santeria, spiritualism, or these ayahuasca unions. I'm not here to attack and destroy them. Okay, they have their own traditions, and I respect them, man. Not, I think what was it? Maybe right before COVID, I actually went to see Ifa priest, and man, I tell you, it was a great ceremony. It was awesome. So I have much respect. Um, so this is what I learned. This is what I learned on my indigenous path as Taino Boricua, and I'll give you the teaching. What I believe is like the teachings that most indigenous peoples believe and practice. Hey, much respect, Brujo Luis. Awesome, man. Um, this is what I learned. Okay, now I could be wrong. Okay, but please, I encourage people to write your in the comments. What's the teachings that you learn as you walk a human spiritual path. So this is what I think. When we live, or when we try to live every day of our minute of our life, every second, when we live a harmonious lifestyle, harmonious, that means you respect everything, people, place, and thing, right? And for me, what I've learned from indigenous peoples, one symbol they all have in common, I find, and that's the sacred circle. You see it in the ancient medicine wheels. My God, you see it in the sun, the moon, circles, sacred circles. It's all over us. When a raindrop falls in the pond, it becomes a circle. So this is what I believe the true indigenous way of life is to respect the sacred circle. Respect the circle. What does the circle represent? It's a tool. The circle is a tool to remind us that our lives is guided by a creator or a higher power or a great spirit. It's something beyond us. It's something that we cannot create. But here's the crazy part about this, and this is what I learned and going to different ceremonies, indigenous ceremonies, is that um, looking up, looking to the side, whatever, it's all valid, But what I find when you go through the struggle, when you do the work, God is in you. Why? Because God created us. So our image, our self-representation, our image of God is related in the physical, mental, emotional, and spirituality that we all possess. Because we're not just bones and muscle and blood, and all of that is sacred because it comes from God. But we have a spirit, and that spirit is middle, right in the middle of the circle. No, I kind of have an oval right here. It's kind of oval, but the circle's in the middle, and that's the middle circle I'm talking about. That inner circle that's found in our life. Even in my buddy right here, who's a slug. Slugs contain it, insects contain it, animals they all possess this spirit that allows us to wherever we need to look. We know there's something beyond us that we can't create in a laboratory. Um, Now you're probably laughing at me, right? That my buddy here, my future DJ cohort, he's not real. He's plastic. What is he talking about? It's a thing. Well, guess what? If you chuckled, if you laughed, if you thought I was crazy by using this, my future cohort DJ, if you think that's crazy or made you laugh, whatever, hey, this thing contains power. It contains it, and it was created by a human being. So whoever created it, their energies in it. It takes a tribe, right? So that leads me to something that I've learned in my history. Um, but before I go there, okay, let me start there. When I was born, it was absolutely free. My my entrance into the theater of life was absolutely free. Well, maybe I had to get smacked by the doctor, and cry a little bit, make sure I was all right. But there was really no money. But for that good service that my mother received, that doctor had to get paid. That nurse had to get paid because they did great work. So see, this it's that dualism, right? Unfortunately, I was not raised by my mother and father, but I was raised by my great grandmother, two generations back, on my paternal side. And she was a well known espiritista, spiritualist. I remember as a kid, women coming to the house and men, and well, mostly women, and her doing her magic, her spiritual work. Um, I never saw any money exchange, but I know there was. And this is how our elders try to survive in what we call New York City, right? So she gave a service and she got paid. And I heard later on after her death, as I became an adult, that she was really great. Um, before Wade versus Roe versus Wade, before when abortion was illegal back in the day, she was a midwife back home, but also she performed abortions to avoid certain problems in families. And I remember those ladies crying, you know. And I remember my great grandmother giving them plants and medicines. And sometimes I'll see those women come back and they're happy, they're smiling, they weren't crying anymore. Um, so I was raised in that context. I was raised with the saints. I was raised with candles and incense. So I guess this is why I'm here talking in YouTube, talking about this stuff. She planted those seeds. Now, the only time I really started paying top money was when I tried to be a priest. I went to college, seminary, and that required tuition and money. So I learned that there's different traditions that you have to pay money. I thought it was going to be free. So that was my first rude awakening when I started my spiritual path. Um, Luckily, I was able to pay the tuition. After I left the Roman Catholic Church, I started searching for teachers. And here in New York City, one of the teachers that I met up with was other spiritualists in Piritita, and they answer a lot of my questions that I had from childhood. Um, and then I had the opportunity to meet a Lakota medicine woman and men, and then I was also able to. Actually, it was when I was a Franciscan. Later on, they introduced me to the Crow Nation. I was gonna be like a missioner, Crow Nation, and but fast forward a little bit. Now I wanted to be a Taino Behike. I wanted to be a spiritual leader now. So I had to look for leader. I had to look for some people. But the first people that came to me again were Lakota men and women, Crow Nation. I went to Crow Nation, and there I had a very profound experience at a Crow Sweat Lodge by Irvin Singsgood Stewart. And it kind of blew my mind, so much so that I was decided to walk away from the priesthood, walk away from the brotherhood, which I did. That ceremony gave me the strength. So that's why I went back years later and I met up with Irvin Singsgood Stewart. And when I told him at the time, he asked me, "Hey, what kind of traditions you guys have? Spiritual tradition? What kind of ceremonies?" And at that time, I said, "Well, we really don't have any ceremonies that survive the invasion of 1492 or 1500s in Borinquen." And he felt really sad about that. And then he said, "Well, guess what? Tonight I'm going to teach you a ceremony that I want you to bring to your people." And I said, "Yeah, but I'm Taino. I can't. It's not Crow." And he said, "No, no, no. Bring it to your people." Years later, I found out that it's an indigenous tradition that when a tribe loses their traditions, it's absolutely correct and traditional to learn a tribal ceremony like a sweat lodge or a sun dance, but you have to be initiated. You have to go through the process. You have to be chosen and taught. So I received that from Irving Sinsgood Stewart, Crow Nation. So I consider also a Taino ceremony because he says, bring it to your people. That ceremony will be with them. And that's what Indigenous is all about. At that point, he didn't charge me any money. He actually gifted me with some gifts that I still have to this day, especially the medicine used for the sweat lodge. So that's when I was introduced into Crow Nation spirituality, you know. And and then later on, I started learning from different medicine teachers and stuff. And also, I got to meet some wonderful Taino teachers along the way. Um, Now this is the heart. Now I'm going into the circle right now. I'm going deep in the circle when it comes to ceremonies. I'm going right into the heart. And this is the bottom line. What I've learned, I see it in all indigenous peoples. I see it in Santeria, spiritualism. I see it in all the religions. Is that you you come into a ceremony, right? And the temptation is to say, you know, oh, I want to receive something. I want to receive something. Um, either through prayers. Oh, and pray God that heal my son, and whatever, right? Oh, I need a new job. We always come to God with these offerings. We need this. Please provide. You know, and I believe that's our human nature. From baby, asking for milk. We're always asking. So indigenous ceremonies, what I learned from indigenous ceremonies was that um, you don't you don't ask, you don't ask. It's you are going to give. You are giving. Ceremony is an occasion of giving. So this is what happens. You're probably thinking, well, if I'm sick, um, I'm receiving, right? Either like the cure or the medicine, or if you go to these ceremonies, you're, you're really sick. You're receiving. But guess what? The person that is sick, that needs a cure, and why they came to the medicine man or woman, they're bringing their family with them. Either their wife, their husband, their partner, grandma, granddad. Traditionally, you bring the family to support the person who's sick, and then the community gathers and they pray. Um, they support the Sundance. You see it, all these families, relatives, co-workers. So yeah, haha, there you go. We are the medicine, April. Oh man, hit me up because I lost all my contacts in my original Facebook. So let's stay in touch, all right? So check this out. So yeah, we're the medicine. We are the medicine. So I just lost my frame of thought. I got too excited. This is what happens in Taino Funhouse. We have too much fun, right? So the person who's ill, they are giving more than anyone in that circle. And you're probably thinking, what? But they're sick. Some are even about to die. But guess what they gave us? Unity. We just got together. You know, if you're lucky, you have some coffee and donuts on the side, right after the ceremony, or big pot, pepper pot after the ceremony. Hey, that's a good occasion to get together. Why not? It's unity. Also, the sick person allows the medicine person, the medicine leader, ceremonial leader, to to prepare. You know. Um, so what I learned is two forms of ceremony. One is cure and one is healing. The cure is like, okay, you're healed. That's it. You can go back. You can leave the wheelchair right here. Go back home. And now the healing one is, okay, there's no cure. Sorry. But you will heal. You will receive courage. You will receive more unity from your family. So, um, yeah, so that person is motivating all this unity. And if the and sometimes the medicine ceremonial leader is not on their game because maybe they they weren't prepared enough. They didn't work the medicine. They didn't work themselves. As Fool's Crow said, as he taught. Here you go, April. As Fool Crow, Tecton Su, one of the greatest medicine men, 19th, 20th century. He said, who is a medicine woman? Who is a medicine man? It's the person who works on themselves the most. Okay? So if that medicine person ceremonially didn't prepare themselves, maybe they even came high or drunk to the ceremony, or maybe they didn't do the right mixture, they didn't do the right song, or maybe they forgot to call the drummers together, right? Um, or the flute players didn't prepare. The ceremony might not work, you know. But the sick person motivates the Behican now or the ceremony leader to work extra hard. Man, I came drunk to that ceremony. Everybody was rooting for. They were hoping that I would get the job done or that I will be prepared, right? So now that medicine person knows what they have to do if they want to continue that path. And then the people have the responsibility to tell that medicine person, yo, man, I can't believe you came drunk, or you came high, or you came with anger and you were upset at something, or you argue with someone, you know? Um, so that now they have to look in the mirror and now they have to say, damn, what did I do? And that goes to all of us because we all have the medicine. We are the medicine. We have the power. Remember the last time you spoke to your friend or you spoke to your cousin and they were crying to you and maybe you didn't have the right words or whatever, but you gave a hug or a kiss. You were that medicine person. That was ceremony, right? Um, man, that's it. That's what I learned from going to all these ceremonies. Now, what I've been seeing. Okay, hold on. Let me look at my notes real fast. Hold on a second. Um, okay, I do want to. I do want to share this too. Um, that what I've learned in indigenous circles is that it's kind of hilarious that we as human beings we're so limited, but yet we have all this power. That's that Taino dualism, and I see the indigenous peoples they have it in their traditions as well. The Heyokas, wherever you are, or the sacred clowns, they kind of bring that out openly. That this sacred circle of life, the sacred circle of life sometimes is goofy, sometimes it's chaotic. So when that happens, hey, just sit down, just take it easy. Uh, so this is what I learned. Ready for this? Lineage. It's very important in indigenous cultures. Lineage. I was guilty of not. Check this out. Many of you who know me, I shared this story before. Um, remember the relatives. This is what I'm going to talk about right now. Um, oh, you say duality is patriarchal thinking. Well, well, that's another show. But check this out. Ready? So, man, there's so many thoughts coming. Okay, the teacher, the medicine person, has all this knowledge that was taught to them, either ceremonially, like a sweat lodge, a sun dance, curing through plants or whatever, um, or the magic. They need students. They need apprentices. And why is that? Because one day they're gonna die. Our graves are waiting for us. So before we die, medicine people are obligated to teach, but not just teach anyone. It's to share the knowledge. So when you die, the teachings will continue. The ceremonies will continue. So that student is the one that works the hardest. Okay? And you need to see that. So it's not just anyone. It's the one that works the hardest. As what Fool's Crow said, Grandpa, he says, the one that works the hardest is the medicine one on themselves. So then you have a relation between a teacher and a student, and then they become relatives in the Santeria and Piritiba, called padrinos, the godfathers, godmothers, madrina, powerful stuff, man. It's relationships. It's safeguarding the medicine for future generations. So that teacher is actually working the medicine in the future. Why? Because they're passing it down to a student, and that student will become a teacher. And then when she or he becomes a teacher, they're going to say, "Hey, Irvin Singsgood Stewart told me," and then you share it. So, and it's this generational. And this is one thing that I find that indigenous peoples do excellent. No matter the consequences of the invasion of the alcoholism and the drugs and patriarchy and whatever, we're still here. We're still alive. Yep, backwards and forwards. Yep. So, but we're still alive. Our cultures are still alive. They might not be in the millions, but it's still alive. Why? Because someone took the time to say, "Hey, I'm not God. I'm going to die one day, and I have to pass this on." And the grandmothers, they remind the men, "Hey, what are you doing? Do your work. Do your work." So, let's do the work. So, that's right. They taught us to breathe. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I'm going to quote Frank Fools-Crow. And you can find this in his book, Wisdom and Power, Frank Fools-Crow. What he talked about there is that all the knowledge that he received from God, from the spirit world, the helpers, right? Oh, April, because you're here and commenting, I'm just going to say it's the Wakatanka and the Kanshala. Um, he got it all free. He didn't have to pay anything. And he doesn't charge anything. I believe he cured every disease imaginable, HIV, cancer, with his medicines. FBI tried to trap him a couple of times in their investigations in the 70s, and he still proved to them that the sacred circle is alive and well. And he made it real. And what he said was, and it's interesting, if you have to charge money, be fair, be honest, be good, be respectful. Don't rip people off. You know. Now I can sit here and say, yeah, I don't like these Tainos charging money and this and that, or I don't like any of these. Like in South America, these ayahuasca retreats. I could go on and I can rant, man. You know, a couple of weeks ago, a couple of us were in Delaware. So we did a beautiful healing ceremony, and then at the end, um, it was people were grateful, and I was giving some money. You know, so I usually don't take money. I usually take food. So I'm a little overweight, though. But, that's another video. Taino Funhouse workouts. But check this out. We split it among us. Hey, Jenny, if you're listening, it's in the mail. But I made sure I told people whatever you do with this money, make sure it's a gift. Pass it on, okay? Pass it on. So so with that being said, I'm not judging anyone, but it's not just about the money. It's not just about the money. And in Facebook, I'm constantly and Instagram, all these retreats, and that costs a lot of money. But it's not all about the money. It's not about the money. It's about the keeping that circle going. And I know many of us, to get that knowledge, to get that understanding, because of circumstances, you have to pay the money. And because many individuals have the medicine and the knowledge, but they're far away, and they have to buy food and they have to buy beds, they charge money. And that's the reality. We live in this kind of world. But what I see, indigenous spirituality, indigenous ceremony, especially in Puerto Rico, my experience, and now Dominican Republic, I've been learning so much. Quisqueya, Borinquen. is that when people share, they don't. Oh no, no, wait, there is. No, no, they get offended when you give them some money. So, um, ideally, it's not about the money, right? But the reality is sometimes you have to pay. But here in Taino Funhouse, I guarantee you, I'm not going to charge any money because then I'll be desecrating my teachers who said, don't charge. But I promise you, you will never go without. And like my fancy dance teacher, um, and in the powwow circuit, you know, work hard, get ready, prepare, dance your heart out. Boom, you got this. Um, it's about keeping that circle alive and going. So if I don't have money to put in your pocket, maybe I can share a joke. This is what I learned from the Lakotas. Just share a joke. When I go to the Caribbean, everyone has jokes. It gets real and violent when there's no more jokes. That's why we gotta keep it fun. We gotta keep it fun so no one gets hurt. So my brothers and sisters and brothers, everyone who's listening, everyone who's watching this, please don't hate me. But I just want to remind people of what my teachers told me is not about the money. Okay. With that being said, we all take responsibility, right? We all take the responsibility. We're all on individual paths. And when we meet up together, it's a communal experience eventually. But let's keep the circle moving. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Muchas gracias a todos en Borinquen y Quisqueya, Jamaica, que está escuchando el ejemplo de los indígenas antes y ahora es que el dinero no es todo. Pero si necesita dinero, no robe, no sea ladrón, ¿ok? And I say that as strong. Lo digo fuerte así porque yo conozco mucha gente que oh yeah, what happened to the donation? Thanks for reminding me. Um, there was a person who gave 50% off the land, and I had some generous people who donated money on GoFundMe. I managed to get a loan, but in the last minute, someone outbid someone. I don't know. It was a matter of minutes. I lost the bid, so I don't know. I'm just regrouping to see if we're gonna do it again. But uh, but land is important because land. I was going to donate more already. Oh man, thank you. Oh, I hope you got the email. I guess you didn't. Damn. Can you email me at tainofunhouse@gmail.com? Get your information so I could pass on the apology. But thanks for bringing. I was gonna say that today. Damn. That eventually land will be needed because land unites people. See, the earth, our mother, wants us together. So, and this is why we live in a society where money, green paper, or different color papers throughout the world, it moves human beings right now at the physical level. At the physical level. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be for next year, April. Um, well, maybe I'll announce it now. I do have land in New Mexico, you know, and I'll be sharing. Um, it's gonna be a free retreat next year. Only thing is, I ask is that you bring tents or whatever. But out. Thanks April for reminding me. But I'm gonna announce it for next spring. So yep. So that's gonna be the West Coast. But then we needed something for the East Coast. So but maybe we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah. So the bottom line is, recuérdate a todo el mundo. Remember, let's do the work. If we do the work, the path will open up more, right? And we can help others. There's a job that needs to be done. That's right. So people, man, I said 15 minutes is 35. God bless you all. If you guys want to hit me up for some information, um, Taino Funhouse at gmail.com. I just did a Facebook today because my phone got messed up. Forget it. I'm not good with phones. So I started a Taino Funhouse Facebook. You can hit me up there if you like, and I'll post some future shows. And hey, April, maybe we get back together again with Taino Radio. What do you think? Uh, yeah, so let's see what happens. God bless you all. Bo Kwatukan, blessings. I've been working so hard to honor the ancestors. Love you, man. Great to be on this. Oh man, awesome, awesome. Hit me up, all right, so I can send you that apology letter. Um, oh man, before I go, I just want to mention something. When actually there was someone else that I was really guilty about, and the person had donated $100, anonymous, you know. And I was so upset that anonymous, I couldn't reach that person. It was, very insulting, right? That someone donated money, and also this person right here, um, I felt bad. 4 days later, four days later, I met anonymous. I met anonymous. I knew anonymous. So anonymous gifted me with this necklace, the Taino Funhouse necklace. This is how medicine works. When we try to control the narrative, boom, life will change it for us. And what do? We just enjoy the ride. Let's enjoy it. Hey, Rob, man, what's up? Saludos, man. From straight out of Borinquen, right? That's right. Hikotia Nyakuro Nakuno. Right there on the comments, you can see the name. You can find her on YouTube as well. Um, she's a great rapper. Yeah, man. She raps in Taino. So of the Higuayagua dialect. So please, man, we all gotta support one another. Let's do another live soon, and God bless you all. Right, if you just got on, you could go in the you can download the video. But God bless you all. You're doing great work, everyone. Brujo Luis, you're doing great work. April, you're doing great work. Everyone that's on these comments and on this live, you're doing great work, man. I'm telling you, just work hard. Work hard on yourself. Let it come natural. It's hard when we kind of resist. Sacred circle right here, right? Sacred circle. Do the work. Bogwatukan, God bless you.